25 years. Can't believe that. Why, hello there YouTube and welcome to a random review. I am Random Ross and today I am reviewing Shrek, the first film, 25 years later. So this is written by Ted Elliott, Terry Rossio, Joe Stillman, Roger S.H. Skolman, based on Shrek by William Saig and directed by Andrew Adamson and Vicky Jensen, starring of course Mike Myers, Eddie Murphy, Cameron Diaz and John Lithgow in this fantasy comedy animated adventure romp. So in this one, a mean lord exiles fairy tale characters to the swamp of a grumpy ogre who must go on a quest to rescue a princess for the lord in order to get his swamp back. And along the way there, the ogre Shrek starts to form a bond and a romance between the princess, but she has a few secrets of her own, particularly what happens at night. And of course he's got his sidekick Donkey, who he can't stand at first, but soon takes a shine to as well. He delivers the princess to Lord Farquaad, only to realise after a misunderstanding that she might be in love with him, and crashes the wedding. That's when she reveals her secret that she turns into an ogre by sundown. And of course, Lord Farquaad gets what's coming to him as he gets swallowed up by a dragon. And of course, Fiona's love takes its true form, where she's an ogre and marries Shrek, and they all have a big party of, I'm a believer, at the end. And if you've got the video or the DVD, you can get an end credit thing with Shrek and the Swamp's karaoke dance party and what have you. So yeah, what did I like about this one? Well, this actually dates back to like the mid-90s when the book was good. I didn't even know this was based on a book, which I've never read. But this dates back to like the late 90s where Shrek was in early development. And you know what? I'm glad they waited a couple years for the computer animation to get right. Because at that time in 2001, there was only a handful of computer animated films. They were starting to do computer animated shows like Upgrade and, Transformers Beast Wars and that. But computer animation was in its teething stages in the 90s. I mean, at the time, there were, like I said, only a handful of films that, like Toy Story, A Bug's Life, Monsters Inc., them lot that were around at the time. And like I say, computer animation was starting to come in there. I mean, now it's done a lot, computer animation, we know, but at that time it was still a bit new. And yeah, I gotta say, good animation visuals on there. I like Mike Myers as Shrek. He puts on a Scottish accent, but he makes it work. And we see this character of Shrek being misjudged for who he is, but deep down he just he feels lonely and wants like some friendship and companionship, which eventually he does get. And Donkey at first doesn't see that in him. Donkey is like, he doesn't see him as a scary ogre because he saves his life from guards. And yeah, we then see him rescuing Princess Fiona for Lord Farquaad, voiced by Cameron Diaz, and she looks pretty in it, but then she turns into an ogre and somehow she wears the ogre look better than the human look. I mean, at the time when I saw this, I didn't see that coming at all, the whole ogre thing. I mean, did anyone? I know I didn't, but yeah, we see, her become an ogre and embrace that form after being ashamed of it for so long. We even see Eddie Murphy voice Donkey, who is a bit of a gobshite, but is hilarious. He's just energetic, and you can feel and see Eddie Murphy's energy as he does the Donkey, voices Donkey. And he forms a unexpected love with a dragon, who guards Fiona's castle that she's staying in, and yeah, turns out the dragon probably needed some loving as well, and they do get there. And we get John Lithgow play voice Lord Farquaad. John Lithgow is a great actor in that. He can pull it off somehow, playing a villain and sometimes a father figure. I don't know how he does it, but he just does it well. And, he's got one of those recognisable voices as well. Of course, he only ever was in the first Shrek film. Don't know if he cameoed in other Shrek films or out, but he was the original villain for Shrek. And he is one of those sleazy villains that you can't love but hate. And is bossy and is a short arse. And he's evil, because he hates fairy tale characters, even torments Gigi by breaking his legs off. And we get, a lot of fairy tale characters referenced in there, cameoed in there, mainly a lot that are in the public domain, because like Snow White, Red Riding Hood, the Three Little Pigs, Pinocchio, and many others are all in the public domain, so they can use those characters all they want. A lot of adult jokes I missed as well as a kid that I now noticed as an adult, thinking, yeah, because there is something for the adults in there. There's comical violence and crude humour, a lot of farting humour, and you know what? I don't care. It just shows it's a family film, and the fact that it's 25 years old and still holds up, in my opinion, I think is great. And this was the start of a franchise. It spawned a great sequel, which I think is slightly better than this one that I'm reviewing now, and then followed by a third film which was good, and then we got a fourth and at the time final film, Shrek Forever After, and of course we've got a fifth Shrek movie in the works. That, come on, is anyone asking for a Shrek 5? It's been delayed as well, and it's apparently coming out Christmas next year or something, I don't know. But they've touched up the animation and made him look slightly different. Like I say, is anyone asking for a Shrek 5? But, the other three films, I think, are good enough sequels. It's even spawned spin-offs from the likes of Puss in Boots, where he had his own prequel film, then his own lead sequel in it as well, Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. And, it all started from this one. And this would be the beginning of many Universal computer animated films, from the likes of Kung Fu Panda to Despicable Me, DreamWorks animations and stuff. So like I say, I actually went and saw this in cinemas 25 years ago as a little 10-year-old, and you know what? 25 years later, they were showing the 25th anniversary edition of the film at my cinema, and I thought, yeah, why not? Why not check it out like I did with The Grinch? So I did, and you know what? I thought, here I am 25 years later watching it again in the cinema, and still makes me laugh, still holds up, still good storytelling, still lots of fun, and it's made me go back and want to see all the other Shrek movies. And, Shrek. Who'd have thought? A crazy animated adventure with mashups of all our fairy tale characters that we're familiar with. So, there you go. My review on Shrek 25 years later. What am I going to rate this one? You know what? It's got good memories for me. And I think kids today, love it as well. I'm giving this one a 5 out of 5. 5 out of 5 for Shrek, 25 years later. So there you go. There is my review for that one. Have you seen it? Let me know what you think down below in the comments. If you like this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. Share with your friends, and feel free to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and to hit that notification bell. All of my social media links are linked down below in the description, so feel free to check all it out. I've been Random Ross. This has been a random review, and until next time, I bid you all a goodbye, friends, goodbye.